Hi, I am Ashraf.
I'm Wilson.
So today we are going to do a tutorial on how to play source card over here.
Yes. How do you play this?
Well, we can read by the rules over here, but we've played this game for several times already. So we are going to summarize the rule instead of you just reading this manual over here, which can be quite confusing over the rules.
Two primary call.
So first thing first, you need to take out the primary calls.
I have one and he has one.
So Wilson over here, he will arrange the cards, which is the yellow cards, the network cards over here, the primary calls. Okay. Each one of you, which is the player, must have a primary call. So the rules here is actually, as you play through the game, you will get some of these cards, which is the network cards here. And these cards will stack on top of your primary call here. So, for example, here we got defense core, fortified connector, perimeter connector, and another defense core here. So how can you arrange your hardware over here? It is similar to like this. Okay, on top of your primary core, you can chain directly with a defense core. Okay, vertical chain. But for example, you have two defense core, but you don't have any perimeter connector. You can only chain your defense core to the side, which is horizontally chained. Because if you want to stack another layer of your security, another layer of your defense core over here, you need to have perimeter connector over here. See the description here, cybernetic connector that can be traveled across. A perimeter connector must appear between defense core chains, so it must be in between over here. While fortified connector, it is almost similar to perimeter connector over here as well, but instead it protects from any kind of viruses. For example, this fortified connector over here, it will protect any OS of defense core. For example, like this defense core is JAP OS, it will be vulnerable against the JAP OS over here if you don't have any fortified connector that will protect the JAP OS over here. So you can stack them together like this, and then your defense core can be stacked vertically like this, as long as you have perimeter connector between both of these defense core over here. But you cannot use fortified connector alone just to stack them vertically. You cannot do this. You must be like this. Okay, it doesn't matter like this or like this, also just the same. Okay, for example, you get another new card. You got a new gold card, which is fortified connector. You can put them somewhere in the middle over here, or somewhere in the middle over here, or on top of this over here. But after you have put your card, doesn't matter whether it is your network cards or your code cards over here has been put onto the table and you finish your turn, you cannot rearrange the order anymore. For example, you want to swap between both of these defense core over here, like this, you will violate the rules over here already. So that one you cannot really do anymore, unless you want to put somewhere in the middle or chain another more of the defense core. For example, I have another defense core over here. You can chain them anywhere, somewhere in the middle, next to an existing defense core over here or over here. So Wilson over here, he finished his setup of the network core over here. So what he has here is actually the perimeter connector and a chain of defense core and the two of connectors and defense core over here. Note that on defense core there are numbers over here, which is 3 and 2. This one is the hardware, this one is the security. While each defense core, it has weakness to certain attacks. For example, like this one is weak to signal jamming attacks. Means that if you use a signal jamming attack on any chain, for example, this first layer of the defense core are weak against the signal jamming attack over here. You use one signal jamming attack against this layer over here, all of those layer will be useless already. So it doesn't matter anymore unless you put something which is the impervious over here. It will make any weakness to, for example, like signal jamming or the radiation attack over here will be immune to those kind of attack anymore. So when that happens, what can you do is actually to use the hardware and the security level. So that's it about the network part. So we are going to cover about the code card over here to penetrate the defense. So one of the rules over here is actually to penetrate all of this defense layer up until here. Whenever you reach your status up until the primary code of your opponents, means that you are win already. But do bear in mind that your code must be error free. For example, like putting this code over here, the cross connector here is to travel through one connector, fortified or perimeter type of connector. So this function causes a fatal error if there is no connector to traverse. So it means that you cannot have any error or your code of the program will not work anymore. Over here we have the execute if, branch and loop cards. This loop cards is to amplify your attacks here, while the execute code if and branching is to protect your code from fatal errors such as from the cross connector and the special attack cards over here. And this green card is actually a bug, for example like memory leak, steal memory, power surge, virus detected. This one is quite useful to remove any of these virus at the bottom over here. While for example like you want to code your program already to beat your opponent, you want to use the loop, the arrangement are something like this. So these loop 3 times means that this defeat 2 security level will be multiplied by the number of loop over here. It will be a total of 6 hardware already for this one. So with the network card, the network chain over here has been completed already. I am going to show you how to create your code here to penetrate through all of the defense to beat your opponent. So for example, the basic one, of course, try not to use the red cards if you don't have any programming background. So what we can do is actually we need to take into account about this connector over here. Your opponent has a total of 3 connector over here, so you need to use cross connector, 3 cross connector actually, 2 and 3, and then note that it is similar to a programming as well. While programming, your code are executed from top to bottom. So the most proper stuff to do actually is to penetrate from top to bottom of your opponent's network card. So first we put cross connector. We traverse through this connector already, and currently we are stuck over here. So currently this layer doesn't have any impervious defense cores, but it weak against laser pulse attack and radiation. So we can use one of the radiation or laser pulse attack and then put them at the bottom right underneath the cross connector over here. So it doesn't have any error. Means that this radiation attack will render this layer of defense core useless already. Okay, so next we are stuck over here, we cannot traverse through, so we need another cross connector here. Okay, for example over here we are currently traverse through here and kinda stuck on this fortified connector here, so we're going to need to have another cross connector here and put them underneath, and we traverse through both of these connector already, and currently we have arrived at the final defense core line here, but this one is impervious, so we cannot use either the radiation attack here or the signal jamming attack over here. It is useless, so we need to add up either the height here or the security. So 3, 1, 2 equals 6 hardware levels, so we're going to need 3 hardware level over here and put them underneath like that. You are already penetrated all of the defense line over here, and you've penetrated the primary core here, so you've won the game. Or basically, if you don't have any hardware level over here, you can use any of these security here, which we need to add up this shield symbol here. 1, 2 and 3 equals 6 as well, so we can use both of them as well. So but by using this, these are the basic of playing this game. But one of the things that you need to take into account when you're playing with your friend, which is one-on-one duel, it can be hard due to the limitation of these cards. So of course we can also reduce the number of the required cards by using this virus over here. So for example, that one of this fortified connector protects the JAP OS over here, which he has the JAP OS, UNOV OS and the ANI OS. So we can use one of them, UNOV OS over here, and put them over here like this, so that every defense line over here, this one typically will have the security level for all of these defense core line over here. So the security will be half. 6 divided by 2 will be equal by 3. So for this code of yours, you can just use both of them. But you can, if for example you are infected by your opponent for the virus, you have this virus detected card as well in your hand, so you can use them together to take out this card, and your defense core will be back in full capability. But in the rules, it doesn't say that you can stack both. You can only use one of the virus. In fact, you can stack them together like this, I think, because the manual doesn't state that you cannot stack both of them together. So both of these are defense core, I mean the hardware, and one of them are security level. So if you are using the security level, then you can hit them by the security level. So not to mention that there are up to 4 types of virus that can infect your defense core over here. So there are 4 or 5 types of OS: UNOV OS, ANI OS, JAP OS, and LOS over here. So okay, back to our code over here, which we don't use any kind of virus to reduce the hardware or security level. if you are going to use the red cards over here, we can optimize the cost over here even further. So for example, like okay, this one, the cross connector only one, so we can just leave it one like that, and one radiation attack. So anything that are more than one card, you can use any of these loop cards. For example, like okay, we need to traverse through two connectors over here, so we need exactly two cross connector. So what we actually need is actually loop cards, which is the red cards. So for example, this cross connector is actually can cause you a fatal error over here. So what you can do is, if you have the loop 2 times, which is perfect already for this kind of scenario, and you already beaten this hardware, okay, so for example, like you already reach this defense line, you need up to 6, you're going to need another loop 3 times over here, and like that. There you go, and your program has been completed to penetrate the opponent's robot or the defense line to win the game, basically. So that is how you write your code and how you place your network cards to defend yourself and beat your opponent. So whenever you're playing, it is recommended that you have a pretty big table. This one is 100 by 50 centimeter table. For one person, you divide them by 2. Okay, you divide them by 2. This side you use them for codes, I mean for your network cards. This side you use them for codes, which is supposed to be like this. Okay, supposed to be like this. This part is your code area, this part is your yellow card area, which is your network card, like this. But of course this one is your opponent's card, so you just mirror them like this, rotate them like this, and you will have your network cards here on this portion and your code portion over here. Now that you know on how to play this game, basically, but this one is actually a single player on how to beat a certain kind of setup. So basically it is quite important that how to arrange your code to beat these gold cards over here. So do tune in to the next video for the explanation of the rules, especially when playing with opponents and your friends over here. So once again, I am Ashraf.
I'm nobody.
So this is Wilson. So just tune in to another next set of the video, which is somewhere over here for the next video somewhere, or maybe you won't see them
Over here, or here.
Yeah, anyway on the
Anyway.
video. Yeah, anyway on the video.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
once again guys, do subscribe to our channel,
The AW Show!
yeah, the AW Show. If you like this video, do share them, do hit us the like button, the thumbs up button. If you like this video, if you don't like, thumbs down. If you are neutral people, just sideways. Just sideways. And do drop down any comments below if you have any opinion and question regarding this kind of game. So that's it guys. Ashraf and Wilson signing out.